106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Headshot.
Ooh, yeah!
D20s are red. Meeples are blue. You're a sexy geek, and we love you.
Hello, everyone. It is I, TwoTone, and welcome to Geek Soup, a podcast segment hosted on the Out of Place Network, where we just basically sit and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, anything that is just the vibe for today. So, here with me, I have my lovely and amazing co-host, Origami Cyclone Fan.
Hello.
So, before we start talking about our today's topic a little bit, let's let everyone know what we have been up to. So that way they're all caught up to speed on the life of TwoTone and Gami. How has Gami been?
Gami has been A-okay. Just balancing work and streaming, and try to work on a karaoke night with the lovely TwoTone here.
Yes, we are doing a karaoke night. We
Yes.
are.
Or at least by the time this podcast is out, we would have hopefully already done it.
Yes, we do plan on doing that this weekend. So the 29th of Saturday. So if you are listening to this podcast in the future, that is done. But that does not mean that we won't be doing any more fun stuff like this later on in the future.
Very
So,
true, very true.
If you guys are interested, you can always give us a follow on Twitch. My name is TwoTone Inc. And you can always give Gami a follow at Origami Cyclone Fan, both on Twitch.
Yep.
Come get at us. We're funny.
Sometimes. Well, at least TwoTone's always funny. I'm getting there. I'm a little try-hard, but I do my best.
Nah, there's no trying hard. I wouldn't be doing this with you if it wasn't a vibe.
Well, how is the great TwoTone doing?
The two-tone is not doing too bad. There's been a lot of ups and downs as always. My younger brother's birthday just passed. If anyone remembers talking about that last segment, my mom and my younger brother passed away, and the 24th was my younger brother's birthday. So I spent most of my day just basically like either trying to stay busy or sleeping. And it was a good 50-50. Like, I couldn't find a good way of dealing with that. But now I am feeling not 100% better, but I am feeling better than what I was a couple days ago. I am starting a new job here soon, working from home, not just as like a voice actor and like a streamer and all that good stuff, but like I'm going to be dealing with customer service and stuff. So, yeah.
I am sorry. Mainly.
I honestly have been, it's better than dealing with people in food.
Honestly, they're both on the same level for me, but that's because I've been doing both.
Yeah, I mean, I just get to work from home. That's where I'm at. I'm just like, oh, I can work from home and make money, which means I can save up money to get a car because I'm not really going to need to go anywhere and I can have all of my food just like DoorDash to me. Cool, we can do that.
That does sound nice. Well, go ahead and say happy birthday or happy belated birthday to Little Tone.
Aw, well, thank you. I'm sure he would appreciate it.
So, what are we covering for today's podcast, TwoTone?
So today, Gami we are talking about basically just streaming. I know that it's probably been talked about many a times before, and I'm quite sure that most people are tired of hearing it, but I feel like from our perspective, somebody might be able to find some sort of silver lining in what we would have to say on that topic.
So, how did you get into streaming, TwoTone?
I've always felt like I've had the personality for streaming. I just never really knew how to go about doing it. And I guess I never really had a good reason to do it because I was just so stuck in my ways of you gotta be an adult. Like you gotta have an actual job and do this and do that. And you'll never be able to like live out the dream of being someone that has fun on the internet with a bunch of other people on top of still trying to maintain all of the stuff you need to maintain. So I was just one day like, you know what, screw it. I'm ready to start streaming along with a bunch of other stuff that I want to start doing, and I'm going to do it. Like, the only way I'm gonna know if I'm not good at it is if I don't try. I guess 4 or 5 months later, I'm actually not doing that bad for myself. I got a decent little group of followers on Twitch. I'm not putting a lot of YouTube videos out there at the moment, but, you know, any videos that I do put out there, they're worth watching. This is going great for me. I'm enjoying every minute, every time I have to do a podcast, especially now that I have someone to do it with. And then just coming up with new ideas and new ways of me to just get myself out there more. Like, I recently started voice acting maybe a month or two ago, and I am now a main character in a visual novel. I'm a side character in a couple of other projects, and you know, I have a video of me narrating for someone's Minecraft server. So I'm very proud of all the little things that I've done. Makes me feel good about where I'm going with it and everything else. So, but yeah, that's just basically why I started streaming, is because I wanted to put myself out there more.
How I started streaming, see, I am the opposite two-tone here. Especially, like, growing up, I was really shy throughout my entire life. I remember hearing about, like, people doing, like, Twitch streaming, and someone once, like, pitched the idea to me about Twitch streaming. I've, like, streamed for, like, 4 months. Funny enough, this wasn't the first time I had an idea to Twitch stream. The idea was first pitched to me a few years ago, back when I was, like, just graduated out of high school, going into, like, my first couple of year college. So about, like, roughly 6 years ago. My sister-in-law and one of her friends just thought about the idea of me streaming and, like, putting me in, like, cute costumes and stuff, and just overall going for that adorable vibe. The reason why I didn't go for it back then, well, first off, my brother was a little bit worried about, like, me showing my face and all that. But what really cemented was when I was talking to 2 of my male friends. I want to emphasize male friends here. I was telling them the idea of, like, oh, like, maybe I could, like, become a Twitch streamer, and the others were saying that, like, I could wear costumes and stuff, and they legit said to my face, you're gonna get old guys, like, jacking off to you.
Ew, why would they say that?
Because I was still relatively young, and the whole costume idea was really put the nail in the coffin for them, so when they said that, I'm like, maybe it isn't such a good idea after all.
Well, maybe not at the time being, because you were so young, yes.
yeah, and the idea, well, that too. A few years later, skipping forward, one of my buddies was also doing Twitch streaming. I will throw his name out there, Alexander Arcade. He does art and video games. Well, he's been streaming for, like, I want to say, like, maybe over a year at this point, but he's been doing it for quite a while, and I would sit in and, like, watch his streams, and after watching him for so long, I was like, you know what, maybe I should give this another thought. I mean, I do like video games, and I did feel more confident expressing myself than I did back then. Over the years, I have grown a bit more confident. I'm still a bit shy, but
Right.
I'm at least more outspoken than I used to be.
Which is good. I'm glad you see that change in you.
Yeah. So I figured, why not? Twitch streaming, I've always considered to, like, if I were to go that route, to just be a hobby, and if it makes money on the side, then that's just a plus.
Right.
I mean, of course, making money. That's always amazing.
That's always a good thing. Nothing wrong with that.
If I could one day, like, stream full-time, that would be great. But for now, I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic of just having it be a side hobby, that if it makes money, great. If not, oh well, at least I can still have a good time.
Right. And I think that's where you and I pretty much differ when it comes to streaming. And I would like to just say that, yes, there is the intention of, I would like to get to the point where I stream that I at least would make money every time that I stream. Yes, not gonna lie. But it's not one of those things where if it doesn't happen, then I'm just going to stop streaming altogether. It's just more or less of, I just still would like for people to understand that that there's something else to me other than just trying to make a quick dollar off of someone. Because, like I said, starting a new job, so it's not like I'm depending on Twitch or anything else to, like, pay my bills at the moment. But once I get to that point, then maybe, who knows, I might be able to stream maybe like 3-4 times a week and be chill and never have to worry about working another W-2 job again.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice one day.
But yeah, that would be nice. But that just pretty much leads into the next general topic of the conversation of why people stream, basically. And Gami and I are probably two of the best, like, polar opposites, where she's doing it for a hobby. I am doing it to make it, once again, it's not all about the money, but I'm trying to make it something to where it feels, or it is, a career. Yes, I'm thinking realistically, but I'm also, like, not saying that Gami's not attempting the same thing. It's just her mindset is a bit different than mine, but I'm trying to make this a thing. Like, I'm doing things, learning how to do certain things, like marketing myself, figuring out what's good, what's not good, how to gain the little skills that I felt like I should have gained when I was like 13 or 14, when the internet was like, you know, starting to become a thing. But yeah, so whether you're wanting to stream as a hobby, that's so totally fine. You can do that. If you're wanting to stream to make money and all this other good stuff, I'm just letting you know now, it's not going to be easy. It's gonna take a while, because in order for you to even make money on certain, like, sites, Twitch especially, you have to hit a certain level, which is called affiliate. And Gami and I are both at an affiliate status, right, Gami?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we've just, getting at affiliate just basically means that I'm not trying, gosh, like, this does sound bad when I say it, but being able to hit affiliate status just basically indicates that you are able to hold a crowd. You are able to keep someone's attention because of what you're doing, what game you're playing, the vibe you give off, everything else. And Gami, you can always jump in and intervene at any given time if I'm saying something totally wrong. But it is totally different for us. We didn't necessarily get to affiliate status the same day or the exact same way, because like Gami said before, she's very shy. I'm very out there, in your face, sassy. So our followings and everything else are totally different. But in a sense, Gami and I support each other when it comes to that sort of thing, I guess.
So just for the viewer's reference, or listener's reference, how is your approach to streaming?
I'm looking, whenever I do it, I want it to be a show. I want it to be something that people come and enjoy. But at the same time, I would also like for it to be a vibe. Like, I don't necessarily want for anyone to feel like they're pressured into keeping up with the Twitch norms or doing things that other people are doing in their streams, because I want to be as original as possible. Basically, I'm jumping around and I'm so sorry about that. But like, I just want to be original as possible when it comes to that sort of thing, because I don't want to fade into the background of every other Twitch streamer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. My approach is kind of similar to TwoTone's in a way, but also different. How I sort of go about my streams is that I'm not like TwoTone, where I could just like naturally be extroverted and I guess sort of almost excite a crowd, if you will.
Right.
I am more of just, I try to keep true to myself of just being sort of a relaxed person who is just very genuine and authentic with my viewers, which is something that I strive to keep as also being a female in the Twitch community. Not saying that like females are fake or whatever, but some of them are kind of hard.
I mean, that's your opinion. Nothing wrong with that at all. You see it. I mean, I don't necessarily have any female like Twitch streamers that I necessarily watch, but I am aware of them, and I know that when it comes to being a female and, you know, streaming and or broadcasting yourself, it's going to be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, it comes to it, depending on the community and everything else. But yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, of course I'm exaggerating, like, the details. But there are, like, some people who are very much, like, not really trying to be genuine with their viewers and sort of seeing them as sort of a cash money vibe.
Right.
Even though I may have a hard time connecting with others, I still want to make that connection.
Exactly.
So I guess where I'm trying to say is that my approach is just to be, like, genuine with others and try to, like, at least have them see me for who I am, and that's just being sort of a laid-back, chill person that can also get worked up at times.
Right. And that's just kind of like what I meant earlier by like we support each other and everything, because I see it in you and everything else whenever I like raid you and whatnot. Like you have the energy. You really do. And I like that about you because at least you know who you are and you're true to yourself about it. And like, I'm not saying I'm putting on some sort of facade or anything like that. Like whenever anyone comes to my page, like they're going to get all the sass. Like they're going to get all the love. They're going to get all of that because I at least want you to know that if you're having some sort of a shitty day or whatever, let me make it better for you in some sort of way. So that way you're not feeling like, oh, just another Twitch streamer trying to make a quick buck, when in all honesty, I would rather you just sit there, watch me play whatever I'm playing at that time and use channel redeems to make me dance.
Yes, gotta make the two-tone dance.
How to make the two-tone dance. So yeah, I enjoy, and me personally, I enjoy watching you because you play games that differ from mine, which I enjoy as far as like a following base do, because like if there's a very popular Twitch streamer that has like a really nice following and likes you and likes the vibe that you put off and everything, they're gonna come raid you with like hundreds of people. Like, it's crazy how sometimes that'll happen and everything else. And like, I do it so that way all these people can at least be introduced to you, not because you're a female. Like, I'm not bringing anyone over to you because you're female. I'm bringing them over to you because you play games like Stardew Valley and like Dragon Quest, Paper Mario, and you're starting to like branch out in other games and everything else as best as you can. And you're collabing with other people and like playing games with other people and everything else. So like you, even though you say that you're like shy and everything else, you are putting yourself out there like way more than what the average like introvert would.
As you mentioned briefly earlier, it definitely hasn't been easy, but it's definitely something that I try to work towards. Another comment I would like to add, while TwoTone here likes to excite the crowd, for me as well, because I'm also a late night streamer, oftentimes my goal is just to help people sort of relax and unwind. So I'll often, like, almost encourage people to try to, like, stick around and chill before they go to sleep type of deal.
Right.
The inspiration of that kind of draws, from how I was a few years ago when I used to actually have a lot of trouble sleeping at night. And oftentimes I would try to, like, tune in to a Let's Player or someone of that nature who was just very calm and relaxing, and their content would sort of like help me put to sleep. So in return, I'm also trying to help that to other people who might be staying up late at night and also having trouble sleeping.
And to those that are listening to this, there you go. You got yourself a party starter, and when you're ready to wind down, you always got an after party to go to.
Exactly. Of course, I like to rate TwoTone because he does a lot of games that are both adorable and also nostalgic. Like, I first met TwoTone during one of his Majora Mask streams, and that was fantastic, and then he introduced me to a lovely game called Chibi Robo.
Chibi Robo!
Retro game about cleaning up the house.
But there's so much more to it than that. Oh, is there an underlying drama beneath a Chibi Robo?
But that could be for another podcast. So,
yes.
Before I ramble on for too long, TwoTone, what was your first few months of streaming like?
Oh gosh, so my first few months of streaming was met with a lot of support, and met with a lot of planning, and met with a lot of first times, and met with a lot of, just, we got this. So when I first started streaming, I would stream literally every day. Like, I would still work and everything, but it's like I would go to work, come home, stream. I would stream for maybe a few hours, maybe 6 to 8 hours. And this was only so that way I could hit affiliate status. And this was when I was also trying to figure out my niche and like what sort of person I was and everything else. And I know that it normally takes people a little bit longer and all this other good stuff. I'm not saying I have my brand, but over the months, I want to say that I have officially found who I am as a streamer and what I can bring to the table. And I know that after that first few months of just streaming every day and figuring out what games I'm going to play and what sort of crowd I pull in, I can tell that I'm going to make an impact on this planet sooner than later. What about you, Gami?
My first month of streaming was also very active. Not as active as yours where you were streaming every day, but I was streaming like 4 days a week. Most of my streams would be like right after I had just got off work, so they would only really be about like 2 or 3 hours tops. I would be streaming 4 days of Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and really just trying out a bunch of different games and seeing what would stick.
Right.
And another huge part of my first month of streaming was just trying to reach out to other streamers via raids. Before I started streaming, I heard this little bit of advice from a streamer I know by the name of Head Reaper of the value of raiding out someone after every stream. And I took that to heart and would basically try to find someone to raid each and every time. Trying to raid someone that was also like a small-time streamer like myself, only had like a few views, and playing games that I know I would also enjoy watching, and trying to sort of interact with their community, get to know them, and hopefully that was my way of sort of reaching affiliate, hoping that, like, because I'm, like, reaching out to them, interact with their community, maybe they would follow me back.
Right.
Because in order to get affiliate, you do have to get 50 followers, and every time I rated out someone, I would almost always guarantee at least one follower back. That's also how I met TwoTone. He was one of the streamers that happened to be streaming at that time, and I was like, okay, I want to watch Majora's Mask today. Okay, there's this person that, you know, has like 5 viewers going on. By the way, TwoTone, I want to mention that you're one out of like 7 people playing Majora's Mask that night.
What?
Yeah. So,
there's 7 other people?
Yeah, so I just randomly clicked yours. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's go raid this dude.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how we met each other. I suddenly raided him, and he was just like, oh my gosh, someone raided me. And I think this was actually like right before. No, you were telling me of how that was a stream that you reached affiliate.
So you were the reason why I hit affiliate.
I think I managed to like get your viewer count, like where
you
you needed to be.
Yeah. You got it up there. You were the reason I hit affiliate while I was playing Majora's Mask. Oh my god. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Origami Cyclone fan. Like, helping a brother out, like, getting him where he needs to be in life. Thank you.
TwoTone was also playing Majora's Mask, which is also a cool game, so...
I mean, yes.
He's got good taste, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, yes. All my Majora's Mask fans out there, hello, yes. But, yeah, so I like that you took that to heart and everything else. I'm glad that worked out for you. I'm glad that was the path that you went down and you stuck to it, and look at where it got you. Like,
it was basically an introvert forcing herself to be an extrovert.
Literally, look where it got you. Yep. I feel like we could count that as like one of the obstacles that you've came across and everything else.
Oh yeah, definitely. Honestly, I didn't really know how else to get affiliate because, well, I was playing some popular games. A lot of the games I was also playing was kind of obscure, so not a lot of people would come around to watch it.
Right,
and
right.
Especially since I'm like a first-time streamer, people don't really know me that well. So it was easier to get to know people who already had established communities.
No, I get that. I follow 100% behind that.
What about you, TwoTone? Did you have any obstacles when you were streaming?
Honestly, yes. The biggest obstacle I would have to say is like the streaming thing didn't necessarily like start off as like a solo dolo thing. I was doing it with a friend, and my biggest thing was I was worried that seeing as me and this friend were not necessarily like of the same personality and everything else, that I was going to take off a little bit faster than this person. And so my biggest obstacle was basically coming to like having to understand that, look, you have an opportunity to do this thing and you can't really let anyone necessarily solo you down from doing it. And I know that sounds very, very shitty to a bunch of people that might have like a best friend and all this other good stuff, but it's more or less of, I didn't see him as an obstacle. It was just more or less of I saw it as this would become an obstacle if I didn't handle it in a way that I saw fit. So that being said, me and this friend are like not necessarily, it's not that we hate each other. We still talk from time to time and all this other good stuff and whatnot, but we're just on different levels. right now. Like, I'm over here doing this. I'm like running a podcast, all this other good stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm better than him or anything else like that, but it's just our paths were not going to go down the exact same route that he might have thought it would have went down had we stuck this out, because my mindset is totally different compared to anybody else's. And when it comes to me doing something with someone, I have to feel out the vibe first, or else I'm not going to be able to tell if it's going to work. This is why I keep saying I'm doing this with you, because I knew that the vibe between us would be very nice and we'd be able to sit and have a conversation and it just be a conversation at that and nothing else.
Yep.
Like, not saying like we don't have our disagreements or anything like that. Like, it's not all like, oh, we're just gonna kiss each other's ass the whole time. No.
Wait, you mean that wasn't part of the agenda?
No, I didn't make you sign any fucking contract that made you say that. But,
Yes. Nah.
but no, just more or less of, I'm here, he's there. If our paths were to cross again and we were to do something fun together, then we can do something fun together. That was the only obstacle. And I guess the only other obstacle was worrying about me staying on schedule, which I will not lie, I've dwindled on. I was actually supposed to, I told myself I was going to stream Monday and Tuesday. Monday, obviously, was my brother's birthday, so I'm like, you gotta stream, get your head out of it. But then I'm just like, no, you're too depressed, don't do it. And then like today, not today, yesterday, I just wasn't feeling so hot. So I'm just like, you can't stream if you're not feeling hot, because then you're just going to sit there and look miserable and ugly. And you don't want to sit there look ugly in front of people. Like, I know I have a PNG and a V2, but that's a lot of work. And my computer's already running slow enough as it is. There's a lot going on for TwoTone at the moment. And TwoTone is trying to get it all figured out and settled. But it's just nice to be able to sit and talk with Gami Wami about, streaming and whatnot. Were there any other obstacles you had that you can think of, Gami?
Honestly, I'm gonna jump in on what you said about scheduling, because I have been pretty decent when it comes to, like, my 4 days a week scheduling. I've noticed there's also some weeks where I tend to slack off a little bit and feel myself sort of regretting it afterwards. A lot of times when I stream, it's normally, like, right after I get off work. And Sundays, I just feel like shit after work.
Right, and you don't want to do it, which is so totally fine. Like, that's another thing. Like, sorry to those that are listening if you feel like we've gotten totally off topic and everything else about, like, streaming and all this other good stuff. We'll, like, jump into, like, what you'll need and all this other good stuff towards the end. But, I agree with you, like, so wholeheartedly. You'll be tired, or you'll have, like, personal issues going on and everything else. Like, there's a lot of factors that would have to, like, stop us from streaming. And even if those factors add up, we're still trying to push ourselves to stream.
A lot of times what I'm finding out has, like, worked for me in terms of, like, when I get into those moods of, like, I just want to skip tonight. This was advice from who I'm going to dub my manager son. I would usually talk to my manager son of, like, I just want to skip out today. And he'll tell me, like, hey, go ahead and stream. You usually feel better once you start streaming. And honestly, like, it's pretty much true. Like, once I get into it, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not, like, I always tell myself, like, look, if you just start it and you just start playing a game, you're gonna forget that you're even streaming and you'll be chill. It'll just be like you're actually chilling. And I'm just like, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Hercules. And I'm just like, no, you don't want to do it. So I end up not doing it and everything else. So I need to get back into that mindset of, if you just do it, you won't even realize you're doing it and you'll be set to go.
Yep.
Because it's very stupid. I almost have not streamed for like almost 2 weeks.
That was 1 week where I went like 6 days without streaming, and I'd be like looking at my stats and stuff. I'm like, this hurts. I feel like there needs to be more.
Yep. And that's another thing is, like, Twitch will literally get you by your stats. Like, if you're so used to just, like, keeping it at a certain distance and a certain pace. Because, like, once you get to a certain spot, you're like, yeah, I can miss a day. But then, like, the next day you see it and it just goes down just a smidge and you're like, ugh, I shouldn't have missed that day.
For me, it's... when it comes to my own account, I like to check on my channel often, and if I'm just seeing the same thing over and over again, like just the same video, same exact views, I'm like, I need to put something on there so there's a change.
Yes, knowing when to switch it up is also another thing, because if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again with no switch up, I feel like it doesn't matter if you play the same game over and over again. I just feel like as long as you switch it up or you make it interesting. And this is where I feel like I kind of got away with most games that I play, because I make them interesting in a sense.
You'll have your special, like, nights dedicated to certain genres. Like, I remember Monday, Tuesday night would be, like, your retro night.
Yeah.
And that was, like, good for all the nostalgia fans.
Yeah. And like I try, and that's like something I want to try to still keep to. Like I want to have like retro nights and all this other good stuff, but it's just more or less of with me taking on more responsibilities. Like for myself, personal wise, I have to make sure that anything that I'm doing is totally planned out before I actually go through with it, or it's going to be an absolute mess. This is why I have not gotten a bunch of people into my Discord server yet, because I don't want it to be a huge mess, because I'm still trying to figure it out and like see what's going on there and everything else. And I don't necessarily want to bring like someone else onto the podcast just yet, because I would like to, at least for the three of us to get together, talk, see how it feels and all this other good stuff, and then we'll go from there, because I would like to have a guest on here where the three of us just sit and talk about something, I don't know, specific or totally random.
Right. I guess in terms of like other obstacles I've come across, besides the whole like whenever I see like no new video on my own channel, I get like a little bit frustrated with myself because I'm like, I need to put new content out. Back to what I was actually saying. Other obstacles I've come across. Well, it's relatively quick for me to reach affiliate. It only took me about like a month to reach affiliate status because I was putting myself out there.
Right.
Sort of a roadblock I've kind of hit nowadays is trying to increase my subscriber count.
Yeah.
That actually has been really difficult for me. And I also have like the disadvantage of, because I don't use a webcam, I can't necessarily do certain things like certain subscriber rewards of like, if you hit this amount, I can like do something special on screen.
Right.
Because
and
I don't have a webcam, I am limited to a lot less options.
Right. I totally understand what you mean by that. I really do. My subscriber count, even though I do have a webcam and all this other good stuff, doesn't necessarily go up. And I feel like with subscribers and everything else for us, that's where the whole financial thing comes in. I feel like we need to start finding little things that can be invested into. That's a goal for people to work towards, I guess, as subscribers. Like, because people are just want to subscribe so they support you and everything else. But like, then there are people that want to subscribe because there's actual benefits of like subscribing with you and everything else. And that's pretty much where I'm at as far as like wanting to figure out what would get people to subscribe to me, is like, what benefits can I give them besides just, giving them a cute face to look at every time or something.
I know another streamer, their subscriber goals usually consists of like them playing a horror game. I'm like, that's a pretty cool idea. Too bad I'm a total wuss.
But for the subscribers though.
It is something that I do plan on doing in the future. I'm just trying to test the waters with other ideas first. Like, right now, the current goal I have is painting with Gami Ross, where I try to imitate a Bob Ross video. That is my current subscriber goal. I did have another one of karaoke night, but I withheld that one because I wasn't quite sure on Twitch's guidelines of karaoke night at the time.
I understand. I mean, they allow you to play Just Dance. I feel like that falls hand in hand in a sense. I'll just leave that one alone though.
But they also remove like the Twitch karaoke program they used to have.
Yeah, they did that too. I don't know why they did that. That was probably the silliest thing in the world, and they need to bring it back.
But any other obstacles you came across, TwoTone, while streaming?
Honestly, no. Because I feel like I'm doing, as far as like me And, like, the stuff that I do, I feel like I'm doing fine.
What milestones have you felt like you've achieved in the time you've been streaming?
Holy mother of cheese. So many. I guess the first time I hit 50 followers, I remember who helped me, who got me who was my 50th follower. I remember my lovely and amazing team that helped me get to where I am. Even though that we all don't necessarily talk that much anymore, they all still ask me how am I doing as far as streaming goes and everything else, and I tell them how I'm doing. I've met wonderful and amazing people over time, you included. I have absolutely have found out that I am an absolute vibe wherever I go, and even though I sound very conceited, don't mistake that for confidence, because I love myself. Sometimes. Just being honest though. Yeah, no, it's just the milestones, all the milestones, all of them up until this point, up until what we're doing now, like becoming a podcast host, like that is amazing. Becoming a voice actor, that is amazing because that ties into Twitch and everything else. Like it is amazing. It really, really is. And I'm very excited about the journey that I'm going on. How about you, Gami? What milestones are you excited about?
Honestly, just reaching affiliate in a month. That was like the big one for me.
That was, yes, because you like, 3 months, I think.
I started 1st of July. It is now late October. Reaching affiliate in a month was a big one for me because I wasn't quite expecting it to make as much progress as I did. But the fact that I was able to accomplish it, I was like, oh, I'm a lot further ahead than I expected to be. Right.
Now, I'm only asking a question.
Yeah.
How do you think you got there so quickly?
70% hard work, 30% female. Nah.
Okay. No, you knew where I was going with that, though.
Yes.
So, like, yeah, no, and you know me. I know that you worked hard. Like, you actually do. I sit there and I watch your streams. You are an adorable little being to watch, I'm not gonna lie. So I know you worked hard to where you got, but I was also just like, let me see if she actually thinks.
No,
Some of it was...
A lot of it was just, like, a lot of the... When I say hard work, was just basically forcing myself out of my shell.
Which is hard work.
Trying to sort of make new friends.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard work for someone that's not used to just throwing themselves out there to people. So I'm very proud of you for that. I'm always proud of my introverted friends that are just like, I did a thing and it took a lot of energy, but it went great. And I'm just like, oh, my baby talking things.
Also, like, 4 weeks of just 4 days streams. 4 weeks streaming 4 days a week. There we go. Words.
Yep. Words.
And then also just rating out each and every one of those streams. So just from that alone, like at least 16 new followers simply just from rating out.
Yeah.
A lot of my beginning followers were, of course, my friends who wanted to support me on my journey and giving me that follow. But yeah, other than that, honestly, also just, it's gonna sound cheesy, but making new friends along the way, meeting other streamers, and like getting to know them, like TwoTone here. Now I'm doing podcasts with him, and that's kind of wild.
I know, it's wild for the both of us. It really is.
And also, trying to get together for collabs like our Among Us streams or our karaoke night.
Yes.
I guess that was also something I just didn't expect. Well, it was actually through TwoTone that I got to, like, meet a bunch of other streamers to, like, get together for a party night almost of just playing Among Us.
I try. I take my introverts and I'm like, come with me.
Yes, under the flag of TwoTone, we shall unite.
Literally, I'm just like, if I didn't think you'd be cool, I would not bring you in here. Deadass.
I will say, and I'll bring this up as another obstacle I face, it's just, as fun as these collab streams are, I do find myself in a position of, because I am naturally introverted, whenever I'm in big groups of, like, other streamers, I tend to sort of, like, mute into the background.
Yeah.
Kind of like a wallflower type deal, where I'll let other people take the spotlight, but not really contribute too much myself.
Right.
And I recognize that as something that I need to, like, work towards moving past.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just in my natural state to sort of just, like, fade into the background.
Right.
But for the good of, like, my own stream and, like, trying to contribute something to my own viewers, I need to, like, put myself out there more.
Right. I get it in the sense of, like I said, I have friends that are very quiet and shy and everything else, so I get where it is hard for you guys, like, when you are put in that moment of being in a group, you have to either decide on how much of yourself you're gonna give, and so sometimes it's a lot easier to just not give anything at all and just let everybody else have the good time and just exist.
Exactly. I do find myself a lot better in these sort of like one-on-one situations like I am with Two-Tone right now. Because in that case, we could just both bounce off of each other pretty well.
Right.
And I have a good sense of, like, whether the other person, like, wants to say something, and sort of allowing room for that, but also chiming in and bouncing off where I can.
Right. This is why I would want for you to talk more than I do, because I already know that we would be here for hours just talking and talking. Or at least you listening to me talk. So that's why I'm just like, no, all of my introverted friends have to tell me what their favorite color is, what their favorite bug is. I want to know what Roman numeral they like the most. I don't know. Just tell me some stuff. So I'm not the one like talking.
Sky blue, butterfly, I don't know, number 4.
I don't know, number 4. Oh my gosh. I love it. What kind of butterfly though? Is it just a butterfly?
Honestly, any kind of butterfly is a good butterfly.
Okay.
I'll even accept moths into the family.
Ooh, no, you didn't say moths into the family.
100%.
Okay, I respect you.
They're
I don't like moths.
nighttime butterflies.
Nah, fuck that. I don't like moths. Nighttime butterflies, my ass. They can nighttime butterfly outside. I hate moths so much. I mean, like, they're not ugly. It's just when they're close. No, don't do that. Don't get close to my face. That's how you get smacked out of the air and then stepped on. I'm sorry.
Was there anything on your end that you didn't quite expect to, for things to happen in terms of streaming?
No. Honestly, Twitch itself, streaming within itself has been, like, very fun. It's always had its ups and its downs. More ups than I can say downs. And that's the only reason, because I stream only when I'm in a good mindset. Hate streaming when I'm not in a good mindset, because that just is allowing for myself to say it's okay to act this way around something that I'm trying to make my job, and it's not good or a good look for me professionally to do something like that. So I only stream when I'm in a good mood. Obviously, I want people to know me at my like best and my worst, so it's not like they're never going to see me in a bad mood.
Do you want to tell the viewers about your massive follower count that one night?
Oh my god. So I don't really necessarily mind what anyone says about it, but I think they sorted through the majority of them. But I one night got like over 100 or something follows from what it seemed like bots, like follow bots. And I'm like, where did all of these follow bots come from? Who bought all of these follow bots? Like, what the hell is going on? I just had to turn off my notifications. Like, currently,
it was hilarious because your alerts just kept going off for like
oh my god,
a good few minutes.
Oh, it was low-key annoying. It was so freaking annoying, you guys. I could not. I cried. So currently, at the moment, I am sitting at 463 followers. Okay?
It was like 300 followers in one night, and I remember doing the math of like, if you don't shut off your alerts right now, this is gonna continue for another 17 minutes.
Oh my god, and she did the math, you guys, and it got on my nerves.
Well, I figured, he got like 300 new bot followers, and his notification lasted like 10 seconds.
Yeah, she did the math, you guys. It got on my nerves, but that's why I love her. But yeah, so that happened to me. I do believe, like I said, they sorted through a bunch of them and everything else. So currently, at the moment, I am sitting at 463 followers. I don't care what anyone says. I deserve it.
100%.
463 followers, almost 500 followers. I'm here for it.
I'm at a very humble 113?
Very humble. We need to get those numbers up, you guys. So please go ahead and look up Origami Cyclone Fan. Origami Cyclone Fan. I'm just saying it very slow so we know where to go. So how about this? Do you have any advice for those that are wanting to make this a hobby?
Well, for me personally, because I know I mentioned, like, doing this mainly as a hobby, but I'm also at that sort of mindset of if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. But if you really want to, like, at least reach affiliates to have a chance at making some kind of income, I'm gonna say the same advice that I learned from Head Reaper before I start streaming. You gotta raid out every stream, because if you don't raid out when you end the stream, it is a waste. Essentially, what you want to do is you want to raid out to someone who has like a viewer count or a follower count that's similar to yours. And that way, you're more likely to make a connection with each other and perhaps like support each other in the future, developing your own community through other people.
Right.
I know that's not exactly what he said, but that's what stuck out to me of just, you gotta raid out every stream.
It's close enough. It's close.
Yeah, your viewers would get to know their viewers, vice versa.
Right. It's a nice little exchange. We exchange around here.
Other than that, you at least want to be somewhat consistent with your scheduling. You could just do whenever, but viewers would like have to have a general sense of when they can expect you to stream. Mm-hmm. So that way they at least know, like, to check you out if they happen to have an available night.
Right.
And something else that I also do, there's this website called sullynome.com where you can check out the most watched games on Twitch to sort of give you a better understanding of, like, what are the latest trends in gaming right now.
Say that website again?
Sullynome.com.
Okay.
SullYGNOME.
We will be getting you guys a link for that as well. I'll make sure that that's somewhere for you guys to look up and click on and everything else.
You also have to keep in mind that, especially if you're a small-time streamer starting out, you shouldn't go for games that are too popular, because chances are there are super popular Twitch streamers that are already doing it. For example, a lot of people play League of Legends. So, unless you're really good, maybe consider trying out other games that are still well known, but not crazy popular.
Right.
Another thing.
Yeah.
If there happens to be a situation where, I'm just going to use this game as an example, because I've seen it happen. Let's say everyone is playing Elden Ring. Chances are it might be better for you to not play Elden Ring, because that's literally what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I guess, and to put it in like TwoTone's own words of what Gami is saying, be original. Don't copy anybody. It's okay to see what other people are doing, just so you can get a good sense and idea of what you're trying to gain towards. But when it comes to you first starting out, don't play any high brand games. Don't play any games that have a lot of attention to them. Not saying that it might not happen for you. If you feel like you have a good niche and you're able to pull it off, go straight ahead. But you'll want to at least gauge yourself just a little bit with games that still somewhat hold value and will still have people wanting to come watch you play, in a sense.
At the same time, don't play games that are, like, overly obscure either. I kind of made the mistake of, like, picking a, new, still relatively obscure game for like a solid week, and I think I only got like one viewer per stream.
What game was it?
It was called Growing Up. It's like a life simulator.
Yeah,
judging by TwoTone's reaction, he hasn't heard that game either, so people aren't going to be looking it up when trying to figure out who to watch.
Well, now I am going to look it up because, like I said, sometimes it's not necessarily like the game itself. Not saying you're boring, but it's like sometimes whoever is playing the game can either make or break that game. So who knows? The game actually might not be up to par.
I mean, the game itself is very enjoyable. It's just not many people really looking around to watch it.
You might have gotten a nice little following. It takes some time. Sometimes some of those sort of things do take time. Like, oh, you're still doing this? Okay, well, I might as well see what it's about since you're still here on it.
This was also back when I was like originally just starting out.
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't have a following yet.
Yeah, who knows? People might enjoy it now.
That is possible. That is possible.
They might.
Got any last minute advice for our viewers here?
Literally find your niche, love yourself, have fun. If you are trying to do it for money, it is going to be very difficult for you to get to where you want to get to trying to do it for money. But hey, I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying make sure you plan things out. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. Gami, you have anything?
At the end of the day, enjoy what you're doing.
Well, with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into Geek Soup. I am your host, TwoTone, with my lovely co-host, Origami Cyclone Fan.
Thank you all for tuning in, and hope you all have a nice week, month, however long.
Okay, bye guys, love you, mean it, bye.
Bye!